What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since my last video. It's just been a very hectic period for me, but now I'm back and here we have a nice little vlog because I am competing in my first international powerlifting competition in Japan. I'm excited. My flight is later today, but before that, let's get my last training session done. So, session is done now and I'm leaving for the airport soon, so I'll see you there. So, quick Japanese hotel room tour. Here is the door and there's this little space here where you can hang your clothes and stuff. And now the bathroom. Here you have a Japanese toilet with the cool Japanese settings, which is nice. And then a bathtub. That's it. And in the room here, literally just a bed and a desk. Literally a bed and a desk. There's this much space. This is a small suitcase and it takes up the whole space here, and this is just as big on this side. But yeah, I mean, it does the job, and I just need here to rest for competition. So I'm in the hotel now. It's actually the next day because yesterday was very hectic with all the travel and stuff. But yeah, my competition is tomorrow and I'm feeling quite decent actually, but also very excited. I'm not really at peak strength or where I would have ideally wanted to be because I had to cut down from 74 kilos to where I am now, which is right around 66. But there's nothing I can really do about that at the moment, apart from just doing what I can on the day. This is my first time competing abroad and it's my first international competition, so I don't really want to set any expectations. So all I can do right now is just make weight, give it all I have on the day, do my best, and have fun. So right now I'm gonna rest up, make sure I lose the last few grams that I have to, and then time to compete. Let's go.
The next morning.
We've done it.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Okay, so it's the night after the meet. I am gonna do this in one take. I'm not gonna write a script or anything. Gonna make this as unfiltered as possible to, properly show how I'm feeling. So I ended up with a 552.5 kilo total, which is around a 10 or it's a 12 kilo personal best total. Squatted 185, which is 0.5 kilos from my competition best. I benched 122 and a half, which is 7.5 kilos over my comp PR. And then I deadlifted 245, which is 5 kilos over my competition best, my previous competition best. And I ended up with this, which is pretty cool. So I got deadlift silver, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty awesome to, not come back empty-handed, because I ended up 6th place out of 8 people, which isn't the best. So at least I have this silverware to bring home with me. So at least there's that. And as for my performance as a whole, I'm not quite happy with, of course I'm happy, I won a silver medal in the deadlift in an international competition with lifters from all over the world. That's impressive, and I have to acknowledge that. But still, the total that I put up was far from what I expected myself to do. Like 552 and a half, that's I put on 12 kilos on my total in a year. It took me a year of training to put on 12 kilos. I squatted less than what I did a year ago. Like things like that. When you put such high expectations on yourself, you try to find, I don't know, the negative in what was a positive meet. I did have a PR in my total. I PR'd my deadlift. I PR'd my bench by a lot. My bench has made a lot of progress in the past year. So I have to be happy with that, but there's still a lot to improve on, and this has motivated me to do even better. Yeah, I have this, but I can't just be someone who can deadlift, right? I wanna be someone who has a strong total also, someone who is competitive in every single lift. Like, bench was okay today, but squat is something that I want to improve on everything really, and yeah, just come back and be, give a better package the next time I compete. So there's a lot of work to do. Gonna bring up especially my lower back. During the meet today, I also had this little niggling shoulder injury, which wasn't ideal. I missed my third bench of 125, which I've hit many times in prep, but there's nothing you can really do about that. You just have to take what you have on the day in such a big competition. It's my first international competition. This is way better than I should be happy basically with what I did, and I am, but I still want more, and I guess that's the good thing about powerlifting, and one trait that all powerlifters have is that they're happy with their performance, but they're never quite fully satisfied, and that just pushes them to do better, to excel, to rise up even more. That sounds cliche, but that's how the life of a powerlifter goes. And yeah, I am still a top lifter, and I have to acknowledge that, but there's still a lot of room to improve. So I'm ready for the work. I'm ready to put in the work. I'm ready to get stronger. I'm ready to build up more muscle, and yeah, hopefully next competition I put together a much better package. I learned a lot from this, and my handler Peter was amazing today. My coach CJ helped me a lot throughout this prep, and yeah, I put together a package that I should be proud of. I came home, or I'm going home, with this shiny silver medal, which I am quite happy about. That lift was a grind. I've never really had to pull for something meaningful yet, because my competitions in the past have been local competitions where it's just been me in my weight class, and this was an actual battle, and I had to do tactical weight selections and stuff, which was fun, and it put much more pressure on me, but I like the pressure, and I went out and hit that lift as you saw. And yeah, so for now, competition is over, diet is over for a while, so I have a few more days, actually many more days in Japan, gonna visit. So I'm now actually in this town called Himeji, and I'm gonna be visiting Kyoto, Osaka, and this region. So I'm gonna have fun, I'm gonna enjoy the traveling, and especially enjoy the food. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, like, comment, subscribe, and more videos are coming. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you.